It's like they always have something good going for them, then they drop the ball because they don't want to commit to it, don't know what to commit to, and don't know what they really want their identity to be. The only identity they really have is basically being a gooner bait game with all the big titty characters that they're releasing in the game and their jiggle physics.
Cosmoszr, my brother, what the hell are you talking about? I know you're a Wuthering Waves diehard, but we got to get the info straight. You are absolutely wrong about Zenless Zone Zero, and here's why. ZZZ was given the gargantuan task of being as good as games like Genshin Impact, what many consider to be the game that took gachas into mainstream popularity, and Honkai Star Rail, a game also under the Hoyoverse umbrella that is widely successful. The game already had its work cut out for it, as typically no matter what games in the genre you are, you'll be compared. It's just facts. Your favorite game, Wuthering Waves, hit the scene finding its own success, and while I understand at the end of the day that these games have similarities because they are gachas inherently, I think comparing them often falls flat because Zenless Zone Zero feels like a masterfully crafted its own identity over time. However, before addressing this, let's talk about Miyabi. Yes, Virgil's reincarnation in gacha form, Miyabi is an incredibly cool character with stunning visual effects. She also, quite literally, is the best character in the game. I mean, it's clear to see this, right? But despite this, you can't just mash your way through all of the content with her. You know this for when your ass is playing, Deadly Assault or Shenmue Defense and the Battle Tower. Go ahead and boot those up and get your lunch money taken. The beauty in this game is that although there are stronger characters like any other game, there is not one way to win, and you can pretty much build whoever you want to accomplish whatever goal you actually have individually. The versatility in agent designs and players' control over how they function is unmatched and rewarding for player expression. Ultimately, I think it's silly to expect Miyabi to be the main reason for players to want to boot up Zenless Zone Zero when there is so much more to offer in the game, from other characters, to story, to silly ass bang boos, to engaging combat, incredible music, beautiful art, stunning animations, and so much incredible, unique side content. Also, yes, Cosmoszr, I'm also sad about the limited events too. However, they make up for it by adding a lot more things to do. To me, players fall into multiple camps when it comes to pulling in Zenless Zone Zero. You have players who want to play incredibly hot characters, players who want to have the most optimal build at all times, or players who simply want characters because they think they're fun. For me, I fall into the first and third camps. Oftentimes, I don't care about what is optimal because it creates more of a personal challenge, and because it's not always about being optimal for me, at least in a gacha game. Sure, I feel that ass beating when I'm playing the other modes I mentioned before, but the game is becoming harder, and it really doesn't dissuade me from playing who I like. Whether Miyabi is broken or not, or any gacha character for that matter, isn't as important as picking up the character you like just because you like them, and overall is why gacha still remains successful in making money despite broken characters existing. I don't know much about Wuwa yet, but no broken character will stop me from pulling for Lucy when her collab comes out. Believe that shit. Like, actually believe that. In this context, I simply don't have much to say from a Zenless vs. Wuwa perspective because I only know so much about Wuwa from a surface level standpoint, and it wasn't enough to make me an active player in the way that Zenless Zone Zero did from the first hour of playing it. Both have incredible character designs, but the combat and aesthetic of ZZZ was just that much better to me among most things, especially characters. ZZZ and mashing kind of seem synonymous, but it's really strange to me because out of all the other gachas on the market, Zenless Zone Zero feels the less or least mashiest in my opinion. I understand from a surface level view that the game might look mashy, but when you understand it and play it, there is definitely reaction time that comes into play when trying to dodge moves, switch between agents, and parry attacks. Not to mention, element types do come into play, and the way agents fight typically is unique to one another, especially as more new agents enter the game. It's one of those games, while may not be as deep as fighting games or traditional action games, it succeeds in crafting its own way of being engaging to players who are looking for a more intricate combat details, as well as players who actually just want to slap their controller. However, again, good luck with that controller slapping as you take on more challenging combat in the game. I genuinely believe Zenless Zone Zero is the best gacha when it comes to skill expression and looking insanely fucking flashy while demonstrating it.
The game has had a good foundation with the combat. Then you had the disaster of what 2.0 was with all those mechanics that got introduced, and I don't want to even get into that.
You can't bring up that the combat is mashy and get mad when they introduce more mechanics in the game. What do you want them to do? They address the exact thing you complained about, my guy. I ain't got much to say about your UI complaint. I ain't gonna lie, dog. You might be a tourist, dog. Boot up the game and adapt. I often see Zenless Zone Zero brought up in a way that makes it seem like it's all over the place, which is kind of the criticism you gave it. Also explaining how it really isn't holding on or creating its own identity, or the developers are not staying true to it. But that hasn't been true in the longest time now. The developers have been steady at crafting their own direction since post 1.4 and the inevitable removal of TV mode. I don't think it's fair to say that they don't commit when the quality of life changes to the game, as well as the mentioned removal of TV mode, have been big commitments to making the game not only more accessible, but steered in a direction that the player base has wanted since the get-go. We inch closer and closer to a better game, but honestly, the game is in an amazing state now and the best it has ever been. Stories have been crafted throughout the general gameplay players love, and in 2.0 we even got to explore a lot of the overworld with more control over what missions we do in what order, and the littered goodies that we are able to find all over the overworld. Trust me, bruh, I love getting that free polychrome whenever I find them damn boxes. Let's get it. This feels like a common misconception, mostly because the people who make these claims are not actively playing or following the game's updates. But I also don't think it takes consistently playing to identify the pain points of a game or even what you like about it. Yo, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I don't know where this gooner bait shit comes from, because I ain't gonna front. That shit is super funny and does good marketing for the game. It makes people click and look at the game. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I know yo ass, keep it 1000%. That is why you boot up the game. Let's be honest. Don't lie to me. I understand why people defend their favorite gacha, but at the end of the day, nothing speaks more volumes than just playing the game. I typically hear how Zenless Zone Zero is the least successful of the Hoyo properties. It's always a conversation point coming up, but I don't think focusing on the internal comparisons between Hoyo properties or Hoyo versus Wuwa does us any favors in some cases. I love that the Zenless Zone Zero community is extremely passionate, and I think playing the game, propping up the game, and showing everyone why it is so amazing will do us more favors in the long run. Now, Cosmos, I ain't gonna hate you for your opinion. You know this, of course. That's silly as hell, even if I believe it's misguided. However, what I will do as your homie is correct you, because my game of choice is dope as fuck, and I think with more time, people will actually want to play it and have their own misconceptions corrected through sheer experience. Zenless Zone Zero is crafting something magical, unique, and beautiful, and that's what makes players fans of the game. Not one broken must-have character or any of that other nonsense. Cosmos, you might want to do a retake of that video, because the Zenless Zone Zero players are eating your ass up in the comments, brother. I'm trying to help you. Do a retake. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go get my tapes up, because Alice comes out in like 5 days or maybe a little less, and I need to pull for that character on stream, by the way. Thanks for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and of course, join me on my Twitch stream if you want to watch me pull for Alice or just talk about anything in general. Would love to have you. Take it easy. Peace out. Deuces. Later.